Hi everyone, and welcome to my review of a film called Tale of Tales. This is from the director of a 2008 film called Gomorrah that I've seen. So this is now the second film from this director, this Italian director, and I loved Gomorrah. I think it's a great film. Everyone should check that one out. And I was very interested to see this new one, mainly because of the trailer that I saw once or twice in the last few months. It looked very interesting. And sadly, this movie is not really playing anywhere, so you might have a better chance of seeing it online somehow, or streaming on some website, or through something hopefully in the very, very future. So I saw this movie at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. A really great art house film theater that shows foreign language movies, fantasy movies, action movies. It shows all kinds of movies, but it really focuses on the films that are more obscure. And Tale of Tales was, I think the only theater that was showing this movie was the Frida Cinema. So I'm really glad that it stayed another week because I really wanted to see it. What is this film about? Of course, I told you who made the film, but the film is actually not Italian. Even though it is made by an Italian filmmaker, the movie is presented in English, and it's supposedly his first English-speaking film. There's no dubbing. It is in English. I don't know why, but that's the way the movie is. So the film stars Salma Hayek, John C. Reilly, Vincent Cassel, and Toby Jones. And it tells three tales, and they all seem like they're happening at the same time. One deals with a king and queen. They're all dealing with these kingdoms in the past, somewhere in the past. And I believe the movie takes its material from a famous Italian poet from the 1600s. So the movie tells a story, fairy tales. This is a movie I would say is fairy tales for adults, for the grown-ups, not for the kids, for the grown-ups, because it is quite dark, violent, and really sexual. Okay, so we get to know three kingdoms. And the first kingdom is Salma Hayek, she's the queen, and John C. Reilly is the king. And she is completely depressed. She wants to have a child. She wants to produce life. And something happens. They have to do something to produce the life. And the movie flash forwards to 16 years later. At the time that we get to see this child come to life, we get to meet other kings. We'll actually meet another king played by Vincent Cassel. And then another king played by Toby Jones. So again, the movie flash forwards 16 later, you know, pretty much delving in these three different kingdoms. As I said before, what Salma Hayek and John C. Reilly were doing, they wanted to have a child. Toby Jones, let me go to Vincent Cassel. Vincent Cassel is a man who just sleeps around with women. He's a king that really doesn't have a queen, but he does have a queen, I don't know. But he just sleeps with all kinds of women. And he starts to fall in love with these women who have beautiful voices, but he's never seen them. We get to see them, but he doesn't get to see them. And so that's where that story goes. And the final movie, the final story involves Toby Jones as the king of this kingdom. He has a daughter that he loves, but this flea kind of comes into his life, and he seems to show more love and appreciation for the flea than his own daughter, and then that story goes in that direction. I know I'm not really explaining it that well. I realize that because I don't want to say what comes after the fact as these stories go along, but they're happening during the same time as each other. There's a little bit of connection between them, mainly, you know, they kind of get together for a celebration, and some of them are in the same room, but this is not something that is perfectly connected to one another. It's just kind of in the same universe. So it's three stories, three kingdoms, and how was the film? I really thought this movie was different. Something that I have not seen in a long time on the big screen. Movies like this seem to not be made anymore. Anthology movies, they're very rare these days. It's very hard to see them, especially in the mainstream. A lot of the films that I've seen that are anthology movies I've either seen at home or at an art house theater, where it's like maybe it's a horror anthology or a fantasy anthology or a fairy tale anthology like this one. They're very rare. I know there's another one coming out called Holidays, which I really want to see. But I would not say I liked. I thought this one was really great. Not perfect, but really unique and special. It didn't feel like it utilized a lot of CGI effects. There was more practical effects in this movie. I wish there was even more. I just wish... That's how I feel about this movie in general. I wish there was more. I wish there was more going on in this movie. I mean, there is great costume design. There's some really cool acting, a little over the top. I felt like this wasn't a complete movie, that there should have been more to it. That's how I feel. Wonderful music by Alexander Duplass. Great soundtrack. Really great soundtrack. Maybe the practical effects makes me feel like this movie is, of course, centered in a different time, of course, but a movie that was made from the 1980s or late 1970s. That's what it kind of felt like. I really enjoyed this experience. I liked the production value. I liked a lot of the locations. I liked the mysterious feeling that I was having as I was going, like, where is this headed to? I don't want to spoil anything when it comes to how these stories end, but I wasn't completely satisfied with that, even though a little bit, but not completely satisfied with how it actually ended. I wish it ended just I wanted it to be a little more dark. I mean, this is fairy tales for adults. But I do appreciate where this film goes. I appreciate that it actually got made. I'd like to see more from this director. This is only the second of 2 films that I've seen from him now, and I think he's very unique and special, and something that people should pay attention to. Again, I would like for a movie like this, since it was presented in English, I would have loved for this movie to be seen by others, but I don't know how well it would have been received. That's what's very interesting. So, has anybody seen this film? I'm assuming I've seen it, of course, now in 2016, but it's probably been around for at least a year. So I'd be curious if anybody has seen this movie. What did you think? Did you enjoy it more than I did? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Or, you know, did you not enjoy it at all? So I thought this movie was pretty great. Not a perfect film, but something definitely worth checking out. Especially just an alternative to what you see every day at the cinema. Just a really great alternative, something different in the theater. And for that, I am going to give Tale of Tales, I'm going to get 3.5 stars out of 4. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.